the Carlin documentary and the Garry documentary, they're both on HBO Max or whatever they're calling it now, are two of the best. If you want to feel like a comedian, there are some montages of notebooks that Garry wrote some things that I've almost verbatim written in his notebook that I'd written on my, like that and Steve Martin's first 3 pages of Born Standing Up, I think are the best. If you want to know what it's like, these are the best examples I've ever seen.
Yeah, Garry had these journals, and I think they were mainly messages to himself. I always saw his journals as him talking himself off the ledge. So even though you might read it and think, oh, these are all like positive motivational things, like be more loving, be open, don't live in your ego. He's only writing it because the thing he's not writing is the exact opposite. Like that's the response to the bad thoughts.
Yes.
And, for me, in a nutshell, that's what I'm trying to do on some level, which is go, well, what am I shooting for? I'm shooting for, like that the scene with Ram Dass is talking to me and Garry in the documentary. And he just says, it's all just loving awareness, being a kind person, living in your heart, not in your head. And if I can get closer to that, and it's a slow, hopefully continuous journey, then I feel better about myself and hopefully I'm doing a better job with people.
Is that from inside or from outside? Is it you saw a look from Leslie or Maud or Iris about like where you were like, oh, I'm fucking up and I need to be better? Or was it I'm unhappy generally, I'm anxious, I'm whatever, and I need a better way to exist?
Well, it's both. I mean, I think the people around you are always signaling when you're off track and you notice it. But the general work is like a daily practice of making those reminders what's most important in your life. Like the thing I like about Buddhism is they talk a lot about beginner's mind. Like in every moment, can you be completely open and not bring your story and your theories and actually hear people and experience what's happening? So the reminder of that is a game changer if you remind yourself. But you might forget about it for 5 months. And then one day you open up a book and go, oh, I forgot about that whole beginner's mind concept.
Yeah, I know.
And so
it's so funny. I want to do a thing. I feel like we're a few years away from it, but I want all of my house to be LED walls. And I want reminders like beginner's mind. But you need to sequence it so it's not just I can't tune it out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like maybe 10 of them. Like, don't forget beginner's mind. Like I have a checklist before I go on stage.
Yeah.
Of like things like, don't forget, you have to do this. And I don't think we're rare in that we need constant reminders.
Yeah. And that's what the channeling journals are. And so for me, as someone who got to read all of them, to be in like one of your close friends, mine, your mentors, like, oh, this from the 70s, this is what he was thinking, had a profound impact on me. Both the wise aspects and here's where he fell short. Here's where he struggled. Here's where he didn't get there.
The thing that you hint at more with Garry than Carlin was like, Garry could be a bad guy from like anecdotally. It's not you guys kind of hint at it, but like he could be a fucking asshole.
Well, we tried to show it. And that always comes from Garry slipping like, oh, he is living in his ego. He is being competitive or jealous. So the way I tried to show that in the documentary was this sequence with Ricky Gervais. So Ricky Gervais and him have this plan where Garry wants to interview him for the DVD extras for the Larry Sanders Show. And Ricky's doing a show where he's interviewing his comedy heroes. And they decide that they're going to do it on the same day. They'll do both interviews. And Garry tells Ricky or Ricky's people, just don't go in my house. I'll let you know when I get home and then we'll set up. And I guess he got home and like, it's fully set up, in the backyard, the crew's there. And Garry, for some reason, feels really violated by this.
It's an incredibly strange sequence. It's just, you don't know what's happening.
Garry Shandling.
I've never met Ricky before. So this is actually
thrill.
Uncomfortable.
Yeah, but it's very revealing of that side of Garry.
Yeah.
He feels violated. And we don't know what happened. We don't know why it happened. It could have been a miscommunication that Garry doesn't know anything about. Doesn't mean Ricky Gervais did anything wrong. I doubt he was just like, let's trick him and get in the house. Right? So it's mainly in Gary's mind that he's wasn't listened to.
Yeah.
So it's hit some nerve. But then how Garry handles it is by just trying to create a very awkward moment because the cameras are already rolling when he walked in the house. And it's almost like on some level, he's like, you want to see what awkwardness is like? You think you're the awkward guy? Let's go. Let's see how awkward you can get. Which is both artistic and funny, but also cruel.
Right.
I didn't know if people got it in the doc because to me, the point of putting it in the doc wasn't to give Ricky Gervais a hard time. It was to show this is what it was like when Garry turned on you.
Right.
And it's rough. And then Garry, he justifies it as almost like an art experiment.
Yeah, but
or he's teaching Ricky something, but really, I think it's hostile.
Yeah,
for the most part.
There's a shot of Garry I remember from the kitchen where he kind of looks deranged.
Yeah,
he looks like he's having some kind of mental. Something's happening, a darkness that it seems like he didn't turn it on you very much, but
too often.
But he did turn it on people we know.
That was like seeing his wounds. Like, there's the wound. Garry's an incredibly giving person, amazing person. But for all of us, if you walked into us at the wrong moment and you saw the pain, the thing that we struggle with the most, that's what that looks like.
Yes. And I don't want to say this like, I've never felt like, but there are moments where I recognize that look of like, oh, that must be what I seem like. Yeah. When I get violated or feel shitty or whatever.
Or maybe it's the same look when you give Garry a script for Larry Sanders and he hates it.
Yeah.
And in his head, what he doesn't want to be cruel, but all he's thinking is, I'm so tired and now I have to fix it.
Yeah.
And now I hate you.
Yeah.
Because I'm too tired and I don't even know if I can. And if the show's bad, I hate myself.
Yeah.
Like you're walking into that spiral.
Yeah.
If the show's bad, I don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
And we know that from some of our friends, their standards are high and their self-esteem is so important that when they think it's going down.
Well, yeah, it's a weird thing where they're letting you into this sacred process.
Yeah.
It's so touch and go self-esteem wise. And they're going like, can you help me? And people like you and I want to help them. Just want to for a myriad reasons, but we want to help them. And then if we can't, then we feel fucking awful.
Yeah.
But they feel worse.
Yeah.
Because they're the one who has to jump out of the plane.
Because the stakes are so high.
Yeah.
It's not like, it's okay if this episode's not good. Yeah. Most of them are good. I'm not worried about this one.
Yeah.
It's like the whole thing goes down.
Yeah.
With the quality dropping or the humiliation of being in something that you're not proud of, that you can't stand behind. And it's funny because when I was reading the journals, I was like, this is pretty good because there's nothing negative about me. I worked with him for many years, and then at the end of one page, he made a list of everyone who had let him down that year, and I was number 2. And I think I let him down because I left the Larry Sanders Show to shoot The Cable Guy.
Right.
And he never told me he was upset about it. I just got a movie greenlit.
Did you ask him, or did you just say like it was just assumed?
I wasn't the showrunner. I was just like a staff writer. I didn't even think it mattered if I was there or not. And so I don't think anyone really escaped that sensitivity. But I've been there where like things are falling apart and you get really mad at someone and you're like, wow, that's way too angry. But it's that panic of failure.
Yeah. If someone in this job is upset, it's because they're about to fucking bomb.
Yeah.
Because they counted on other people and they failed them.
Yeah.
Hey, did you like that? Did you like that? Yeah, did you like it though? You want more? Don't want to work? Would rather watch videos of me grab-assing with people? First of all, go up here to subscribe and then go up here to watch more clips. This is like when the weatherman says there's a high pressure system coming in. I'm not really used to the green screen.